Today I have to go to the city to pick up the bike that I ordered online from my local bike shop. To find out 4 more things that I wish I knew before ordering my bike online, stay tuned for the rest of this video. Alright, so let's talk about topic number 1 when buying your bike online. What you have to know is that there are bike shops and there are bike shops. So this here is a bike shop. You can buy your bike here, or this here is a bike shop. You can buy your bike here as well. But there's a major difference between these two. The difference is simple. Bike Components is a simple dealer. They sell bikes from different manufacturers like Yeti, Santa Cruz, Scott and whatnot. They are selling those online, just like the local bike shop would sell them offline. They are selling it online and that's about it. Canyon, on the other hand, they are a manufacturer and a brand which choose to sell bikes directly to consumer using their website. But you can buy the bikes only online and only on their website. And that's the major difference between these two. So in this regard, it basically comes down to personal preference. What you have to know though, the direct to consumer bikes tend to be either a little bit cheaper or have a little bit better components for the same price. Topic number 2 that you absolutely need to know about before buying your bike online. Most probably you won't be able to test ride your bike first before you buy a mountain bike online. That seems pretty obvious considering that online shops are able to offer bikes cheaper, specifically because they don't have to maintain a brick and mortar presence. On the other hand, in most cases you also can really demo a bike in a brick and mortar store. If you're lucky, you can sit on it and do a few meters of riding out on the street in front of the store. Well, that's not exactly helpful when trying to buy a mountain bike. There are exceptions, of course. Bike Components, for example, even though they're a pure player from the online space, just opened their first store in Aachen, Germany, where they have a few bikes on display. And Canyon, they have an epic showroom in Koblenz, Germany, where they have their headquarters and where you can test ride all of their bikes. So yeah, take your time to research a little bit for the direct consumer brand that you choose or for the website or web shop that you choose to buy a bike from. Maybe there's indeed a possibility to actually test ride a bike before buying the bike online. Topic number 3 that is absolutely crucial when you buy a mountain bike online. With a very high probability, you will have to assemble it yourself. Most of the time this is pretty easy. Just put it in the handlebar, put the wheels on, install the dropper post, and that's about it. Sometimes it gets tricky though. Like when we needed 45 minutes to install the dropper post on my friend's new Canyon Spectral that he bought online from Canyon. If you're a little bit capable with tools and don't have 2 left hands, it shouldn't be a problem, but beware. When you buy your mountain bike online and you get stuck in the assembly, there might be no one around to help you out. So consider this. And with that, we're coming to topic number 4, service. When I first thought about making this video, I actually wanted to make a rant about the service issue because it led to endless discussions with bike shop owners already, frustrating experiences with the Canyon customer support, and overall a bike that got less service than it would have deserved. And why all of that? Let me elaborate. If you buy your bike online, be it direct to consumer or from a regular web shop, when you want to get the bike serviced, you actually have to send it back to the dealer. Obviously, duh. But that means disassembling your bike, packaging it into the packages you received it in. I hope you still stored that away like I did here, or good luck finding a fitting package off the shelf and sending it back to the dealer for a bunch of money. Then, depending on what's actually broken, you will get a quote from the dealer what it costs to fix it. If you don't approve the quote, you will get the bike back. Sounds like a lot of organizational overhead? Yeah, right. Another thing is, in the case of Canyon, you are at their mercy whether, how fast and for how much money they are fixing your bike. From a Canyon business perspective, that's the advantage of owning the customer relationship end to end. So why not take the bike that you bought online to your local bike shop? Well, local bike shops want to sell bikes too, and they despise the fact that direct-to-consumer companies poach in their territory. advertising to consumers with lower prices and better components. That's why more often than not, they are not accepting your valuable Canyon steed for service. Forget discussing it with the bike shop owners, it's useless and only leads to frustration. In my case, I'm very lucky that I found myself this bike shop here in Stuttgart, the Bikewerkstatt. They took in my Canyon Spectral, they serviced the fork and shock and sent in the dropper post to RockShox. When I brought my bike in for service, I immediately got a quote for the service and 1-2 weeks later I could pick it up again from the shop. Thanks guys. So these are 4 things that you need to know before you buy your bike online. If you want to watch us assemble or buy a bike at Canyon, then check the videos down below on the left or on the right. And if you want, hit subscribe. I would love to see you more regularly here on the channel.